That was deep as fuck.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Dalton.
And I'm Claire.
And we are here today with the Beginner's Guide. It's the from the same guy who made the Stanley Parable a couple years ago.
Personally, one of my favorite games.
Pretty funny game.
Yeah.
We were going to try and do face cam for you guys with this, but unfortunately,
it didn't want to work.
Haven't quite gotten that figured out. So, anyway, all right. Without further ado, let's just jump. Not jump, but jump right in. Audio is on. WASD to move, and I guess the button to click and interact.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Hey. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay. I'm actually pretty happy this guy's doing that for a friend. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Because I'm sure that's what it's going to be about.
What?
Alright, let's go.
Oh, sorry.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Oh, which side, babe?
The one with the light. Never mind.
You chose wrong. Penalty, death. I'm out of ammo.
Yeah, because you just kept shooting everything for no reason.
Well, you know what? I wanted to.
Security
God, they're after me. There's no sprint button.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not. I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this road.
It's pretty nice.
I might just email him just to let him know I enjoyed this. Okay.
There's not much commentating you
Apparently
can do
the
on
space
this.
station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
No.
Would you give yourself?
Fuck yeah.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Fuck yeah. What?
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, there's that maze that he skipped us past.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel
look
in the
right there,
face
it's
of
not
this
like you're floating
larger
anymore.
chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Let's do it. The past was behind her.
Alright.
Literally.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Okay, turn around. Now go. Walk back. I like this. I like this a lot.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist
For
experiment
the
combining
future
motion
democracy.
and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
You can't
I
use
like
the
it.
arrow keys to move, so you have to use the mouse. It's kind of hard. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Alright, let's do this. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to
To
confront
confront.
it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
I like it.
Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
But I wouldn't pay
Okay,
$2.99
next one.
for it. I don't know how much it cost. You are now entering
Coolio.
You can't go past it.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Are you going so slow?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay, press it.
No, I refuse. It's going to be an achievement if I do this all the way.
I don't think so.
Fine. But I don't
We're
want
not
to
in
go.
for achievements anyways.
I want to jump over. You walk around talking to people, play as a pair. Stop that.
Oh my god.
Press U to surrender.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Press on an X.
Coda would often
Staring
tell
at a
me that he
bear.
didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant.
Stand on an X.
He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. That's awesome. You walk around talking to people down... taking? I don't know. Couldn't read that. Ready, set, fish. Let's fish. Do I have a gun?
You don't fish with a gun.
You can.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Is there a light switch? Maybe I can... Aha!
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Alright.
3 dots. Cool.
Don't worry about it.
You don't know. Maybe that's something to do.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game
Don't
again,
make that
so that
noise.
when you press enter, it'll
That's
remove all of the
disgusting.
walls
Stop it.
from this room.
I didn't even hear what he said.
He's gonna modify it. Oh.
No, I couldn't do it.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
You are now exiting.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in. some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I don't exactly know what this game is about or like why it's made, but I really like it.
I think he's just talking about a friend. He said that this guy helped inspire him to make the kinds of games that he makes.
I know, but like...
And then he just stopped making games.
I know, but like, I feel as if there's a dark meaning behind this.
Oh, dude, I lost it. There it is. No, I don't think so. I think it's just his call out to him to get him to start
Let's talk
making
about
games
video
and shit
game
again.
development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Platforming.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
This makes me nervous. Oh, I hate platforming.
Oh god,
oh my god, oh my god, okay.
Okay. Still landed on a platform, we're good.
Just jump down to that orange one, be a man about it.
That orange one, or
Yep.
the long one, or the
The
square
long one. Just be a man about it. Oh my god, we missed it!
Oh, okay, sweet. Alright, awesome. Oh no. Alright.
Well, there's no fall damage, so
I
we're
could have
good.
just jumped from the top. Oh, you can't walk off that edge.
Yeah, you can see the wall. You can still see it.
Oh, it's the whole thing.
Gotta go around it. No, go around it. Try to get that. Okay, there's a wall around the whole thing. Never mind. Okay.
Empty. Well, I don't want to.
Jump over it. Okay, you can't.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
I guess we just have to listen to his full narrative to really get the point of this. The full point. Because, I mean, it would have been easy for him to just go to, like, a social media site and say, like, you know, hey, play this guy's games. Get him to start making games again. There's gotta be something more.
This is actually pretty neat. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, but
there's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Here,
Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes.
There was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. I didn't technically spend hours in the prison. I do remember the floating blocks.
Let's just go ahead and go with 3.
That's the world above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? One. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it, the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I didn't solve it, someone else let me.
Yeah.
Because I let him.
Oh my god.
Later. Can't go up there. I was gonna look at the back of their heads.
Well, it just said speak and what's
No one to see what the other one said.
Oh, we have to do it again. Yeah.
No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it?
Why would I care about that space? About the space between the doors? Now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as passing through it. I don't recall a space between the doors.
2. I would say 2.
I don't remember it, so...
You don't remember the black space between the doors?
Oh, yeah, the black space. Yeah.
So 2?
Yeah.
Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. See you, man.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level. It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Alright, let's do it.
Boot me up then, man. Let's go. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players.
That's cool.
Nice room. Not.
Oh.
What a dick.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda.
Okay.
This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Look at all those notes.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Balls.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
A free t-shirt. Nice Picasso.
I'm just waiting for this to get dark. I don't know why, I just have a bad feeling about this game.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together, to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Okay.
The switch is on the other door.
Oh yeah, right.
Jeez.
Okay, this
There
one is
we
tough.
go.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Porn stars die too.
The sequel to the original Porn Stars Die.
I'm all about it.
Going to the strip club.
Those are strippers.
Bum, 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 bum. I can still jump.
See, like, this
What?
is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Nothing.
What furniture ought to go in the center of the room?
Oh, we didn't pay attention. How about a TV with a surround sound?
Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? Huge tin stoves lined up along the wall.
Okay.
Yes. It doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah. Two. Let's do one. Full ceiling window.
No, I did 2. My bad.
Oh, well.
I meant to click 1.
Okay, that works. Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure none of my choices
Yeah.
are going to make a difference. Tables were invented in 1935.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thanks for-
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
I'm all about it. I like weird things.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Alright. Hello. Please walk forward.
Let's do it.
This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly.
It's for
Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and turn it back on. Now go over to the left side sofa, move it over a little. This one. Finally touch the shelves.
Oh. Thought we were stuck.
That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Sweet! Return.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you
That's
real quick
cool.
through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Huh. Anything over here? A wall? Okay.
I guess we just have to go to the lamppost.
Peekaboo. I don't want to go in that payphone booth.
It's just gonna be a prison.
Hello. Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm from after you escaped.
That's the only one we got.
Yep. You're me?
So you were trapped in the prison too.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison is like. It's strange, but in a way, I kind of miss being in the prison. Feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time.
3.
Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. No, I'm really the same person now as I was then. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. That makes me feel happy.
Age just kind of does that, you know? I'm still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. 3.
Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I did not. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit.
Ooh.
Be sincere.
Yeah.
What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works.
I would go with the first one.
Yeah. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Sounds like this guy's got some depression issues, man.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this This environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Fuck it. I can look through the windows of this place.
Hey, there's a person in there.
Yeah, we don't know what's in here.
Yeah, that's true.
Just so you're aware, nothing will happen up here until you've been inside the house.
Son of a bitch. Then why'd you tell me about the doors? No.
Okay.
Well, my goodness. I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house by myself. And right miserable that would have been.
You'll
Everyone
notice that the
knows
quality of the
lonesome
art is a
hands
step
make
up from previous
lousy
games,
noises.
including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up in here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? There you go. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Sure thing, buddy. Tell me where the bedroom is. Bathroom. Bedroom. There you go. Now, would you please, while you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? There you go. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy.
Do you enjoy being a house cleaner?
Let's make conversation. Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm and it rests the pit of my ribcage. Rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed in any other way, it seems, which I guess is all that matters. Oh, and that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten out the pillows on the sofa out here? Certainly.
They're making us do all the work.
There you go. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. There you go. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Yeah, make it especially cheesy. Alright, cut to it, man. No, what the fuck? No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Yeah, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? There you go. Last I checked, the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? There you go. No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, put them back on the shelf.
We're doing a little cleaning simulator.
There you go. Perfect. How can you even see it? Now then, how about you come clear these dishes off?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Are all houses this easy to clean? Do these chores ever end? House cleaning is so difficult, how do you do it? Do these chores ever end?
Okay.
Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you have to absolutely got to own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand, and I leave
I know that
the
Coda
future
really liked this
viewers
game.
to
Of all
future
his
you.
work, actually, this was
Present
the
you
only one
wants
that he
to
called
smooth
me
out
up
the
to
rug
ask
in the
me to come
bedroom,
over
believe
and
it or
look
not,
at it.
trust me on this.
This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house looks a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I get it, that's a weird thing to just say to someone you met. You're right, it's pretty cheesy, but there's a bit of truth in it, no?
3.
Yeah. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Got it, man, all day long with this. What next? Pillows.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
Okay.
But, of
Do you
course,
enjoy this?
it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well.
Damn it.
Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving.
no
It's
wall
how you
anymore.
stay alive.
I actually kind of liked that. It was kind of soothing.
I was enjoying that.
Sorry, folks, I'm getting kind of tired.
Damn it, it means
Which is the
game's
whole
over.
point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it. This one gets a bit goofy.
Items you love at members only price. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make relationships more meaningful? No.
Alright, just answer
You
it for
came
us.
here to be perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look back and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know that is so well developed as a person they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About halfway
easy.
through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect
shifts.
is effortless.
Ooh.
Can't do 2 or 3.
This is the key.
You
How
play
do I
as the
achieve
teacher.
it with no effort?
Suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solution of your life, you're not doing it right.
Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simple path forward? There is no truth, there is no path. Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Nothing, no one.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most
Perfection.
relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these
That was
days.
fucking awesome. January 2010. Alright.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
I want to look around at everything back here before I go make a fool of myself. I don't know Shakespeare.
This reminds me of the Gallows movie.
Yeah. Alright, let's do it.
Charlie, Charlie.
Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. Center stage. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. No.
Okay. Nice.
Good, stay right there.
Okay.
The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello. That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again.
Okay. Here
All my hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
No, no, no. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby, and I go talk to her again. Oh, they bounce me.
Go up to her. There you go. Okay. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? 1. Let's be nice, I guess.
You're messing it all up.
Oh my god!
You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quick. Do you realize how important this was for me? I'll never get in it. Fuck. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Lamppost. Do I gotta go all the way down here? Aww. In prison again. Oh shit.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. Play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Alright.
Are you gonna close your eyes?
Yes. My eyes are closed. I don't know what to do.
Should I tell you? Okay.
Why did I go blind? Okay. Are your eyes closed?
Oh, should they be?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna move around. I'm not looking. Promise. Okay. I guess I died.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much
Okay.
impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
What's going on?
Am I going to get killed by a giant door? It's awesome. Help, I'm blind. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
It's strange.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for
I
him.
haven't been honest.
Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was
Stuck
that
in
kind
it.
of thing.
Yeah.
Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
I'm wondering if he's not his friend.
If what?
If the guy we're listening to talk.
It's not just Coda.
Yeah, if that's not Coda. What is this? Okay.
Where did this island come from?
Okay, we just gotta keep talking.
Is that person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost.
Is it the tree? Look up, maybe. No? Okay.
When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I'm completely out of ideas.
No. I don't know.
What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. One.
Yeah.
Wait, you're looking for a machine. I think I know where it is. It isn't far.
Alright, tell us where it is.
You have to take me to it. I need to see it to know why it stopped.
You have to take me to it, I guess.
I can do
If
that.
the
but there's a
last game
problem.
featured
It's
Coda
guarded by a
talking
difficult
explicitly
puzzle.
about his creative frustrations,
Never solved the puzzle.
this one turns it up to
Machine
11.
deal.
Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder
deal.
even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
So even when he hit 3, it went. It's just that deal?
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
I have to close the door. Press the switch.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
To say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time.
Okay. Making games is simple.
But it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy.
It
makes me feel energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work.
Yeah.
That's a better one.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
None of
This
this
is someone
is
I really
helping.
cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
It always pays off eventually. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time, yeah.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
I believe
I
this.
wanted it to stop more than
Unquestioningly,
anything.
I am a vessel.
It never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Did he just admit that this was him? He just said, I needed all this to stop.
No, because he was saying that he was witnessing him make these games.
Okay.
I will be saved by my word, or 2 or 3.
3.
Incredible, that's it. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May 2011. The Machine.
Okay.
This puzzle again. Madam, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be brutal.
Cool. Okay. Brittle works.
Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine.
It's called Coda.
I think Coda's a girl.
Yeah.
What will you do with it? What can you tell us? It will be punished. Okay.
Yeah, we just realized Coda's a girl. Do a cool flip.
Take a picture.
Oh.
Okay. What's up, machine? Ready to get that ass whooped?
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. You stopped feeding us. 3, healthy.
Yeah.
Those people out there, can you imagine what kind of pain you've put them through? It was only because your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'll let you pick that one. While I walk in circles in intimidation.
3.
How about this for a start? You need to go to the people and who are out there and apologize to them. What you have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone.
Your choice.
I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. Your choice.
Apologize for leaving me. I'd say that.
Good one.
No, nothing. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear.
Alright, you have to choose this one. You didn't have, there was only one answer for the last one.
Think carefully, because she's talking to herself.
Alright, then I will apologize to the people on your behalf. Later.
Ooh. There you go. My friends.
My people.
It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. Okay?
Oh, I thought you were wanting me to...
The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit it did deliberately hurt us. To admit that it deliberately hurt us. Which one?
Your choice.
I just chose my friends.
No, you didn't. The machine will not apologize to us.
But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Ooh, okay. I don't know. Which one should we do?
1.
1? Okay. Let us pay it
retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures.
Let us show us that's not failures, yeah.
Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created.
Created?
No, because we don't want to destroy. We want to have, you know.
Okay, let's just join the machine. Oh, okay.
Are you coming? Oh. Oh, yeah. Where's this machine? Hey, buddy, I could really use you talking to me right now.
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Ah. We're destroying the machine. Let's keep on.
I gotta choose the dialogue.
Alright. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever. known forever, I guess.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself.
He's calling it a he.
I'm thinking that Coda's stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh shit, we fell.
So I started showing Coda's work. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions.
Bitches.
And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Hello, machine.
Put down your weapon.
My weapon is down.
Oh.
Now it's out. Get blasted up,
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good. That I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Told you this is gonna take a dark turn. I just feel it happening right now.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Oh, shit. Am I gonna jump off?
I'm so scared that it's gonna end with Stanley Parable and it's gonna, like, prove that was him the whole time. I hope it takes that turn. That's what I'm wanting so bad right now.
That'd be awesome.
It would be.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
But he's still got that jump button in there. Yeah, never failed.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Does it? Oh my god.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thank you. I would have hated to have had, had to have played the original. Like him.
It's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. That one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
151617. I wasn't that far off. Damn it.
Look what you did. You messed everything up for us. Hit the lever. There we go.
Did you just call it a lever?
Yep.
Oh my god, I love you.
Oh. I hate you though.
That jump button.
Oh my god. I would not have done that.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Thanks, buddy. There still is no switch, though.
Was I a
It's
failure
on the door.
for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them...
There's no point in me
I had
doing
been
that.
trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Okay, it didn't matter either way.
This is a lot more, like,
This is
deep.
this is intricate.
Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna be like this.
Dear Davey, thank you for
I
your
am the
interest in
reason
my
that
games.
you stopped making games, aren't I?
I need
It's
to
because
ask
of what I
you.
did.
Not to speak to
I
me
poisoned
anymore.
it for you.
Dude, that cuts, man.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. have so
And
infected my
the
personal
people who
space
played them,
it's possible.
they treated me like I was important.
I did begin
They
to
really
plant
listened and
solutions in
cared
my
about what
work
I
somewhere.
had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Why would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes?
Would you stop?
Would you? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Would you stop changing my games, stop adding lampposts to them? What?
And then
Would
you
simply
stopped.
let me?
And I didn't have
let them
anything
be
left to show
what they
people.
are.
I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all.
When I am
Nothing.
around
Less than
you, I
nothing.
feel physically ill.
What does that mean?
You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you'll make peace with this thing that you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing. You put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Told you it took a dark turn.
You already said that. Epilogue.
Oh. What just happened?
I don't know. Told him to stop putting lampposts in the games, but I thought he said that he did that.
Yeah.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Excuse me. Alright.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
So, he just created all of this.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Psych.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
This guy is an amazing storyteller. That's all I gotta say.
What is that?
A chair in the video game.
Psych.
Oh no. Oh, it's going up. Okay.
I was about to say, dude, we need you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We kind of need him now.
Okay, I was about to say, is it just gonna keep rising?
Is it?
No, it
Oh.
stopped. Whether this mysterious person is him or somebody else, if I took all the time to, put all this in a game, and I could do it effortlessly, just pumping out games like this guy said he was, I don't think I'd ever stop. By all means, we're not the most sociable people in the world, but I don't ever feel, sad about it or nothing. But then again, I guess I do. I do have you, so I don't really have much of a reason to feel alone.
Exactly.
That's some deep shit. Oh, there's the beam again. Oh, fuck. Ask me the question. Fuck yeah.
that's pretty.
Thumbnail. Day and night.
I wonder if he comes back, or if we're just gonna float effortlessly for forever. Okay.
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals.
Where's Coda? Is he gonna be in the fuck you section?
Alright, thank you guys for being part of this awesome story with us. Appreciate you hanging in there for an hour and 35 minutes.
It'll probably be shorter, maybe, after editing and everything.
But anyway, alright. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any discussions that you feel might be necessary about, to make about the game, just go ahead and throw them down there in the comments section. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Alright, until next time, we'll see you guys later. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.